Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dayna Show. My name is Dayna Kaplan. Today's episode is deeply personal, deeply moving, and a true reminder of the strength we all have to adapt even when life takes an unexpected turn. In 2017, Eitan Ashman suffered an ischemic stroke, a blockage in the brain that left him with aphasia, a condition that makes it hard to speak, read, write, or understand language. In a moment, everything changed. But this story isn't just about what was lost, it's about what was rebuilt through love, patience, and an incredible amount of inner strength. Eitan and his wife, Leora, have walked through this journey together as partners, as parents, and now as powerful advocates. Together, they created Koach Eitan, an organization that raises awareness about aphasia and gives people the tools and hope to move forward. In this conversation, we talk about identity, memory, faith, and what happens when the words go quiet, but the heart keeps speaking. I'm honored to welcome Leora and Eitan Ashman to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Hi, and welcome to the Dayna Show, where we discuss in English day-to-day life of Israeli citizens, our concerns and aspirations for the country, and everything in between. I'm your host, Dayna Kaplan, and we're so glad that you could join us. I always mention the hostages, that we still have hostages in Gaza, and we think about them every day, and that even though we're going on with our daily lives, they're always in our minds and in our hearts. So, power couple from Efrat in Modi'in, thank you for coming. I want to start off, usually start off asking people, because you were obviously Olim, you moved here from Chutz La'aretz. So first of all, where you're both from.
Okay.
And why you decided to make Aliyah, if you don't mind. Leora, Eitan, which one of you wants to speak?
So I'm Eitan, but born in Baltimore, and I left the Ner Yaakov. No, not.
Well, you came to Ner
Ner Yaakov,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hakotel and Army before,
Mm-hmm.
and I met Leora, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a family that loved Israel?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Safta, my parents.
Mhm.
Sorry, my parents really gung ho. Like you have bemeto. It's like, yeah, let's go, and it's true Zionist bemeto.
Mm-hmm.
And so Safta, no, and Saba, beseder, but parents came in.
They like in the 70s have Cuba.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, and then they went back, and now they're here. So that's really like unbelievable. Like,
So it's in your blood.
yes.
Okay,
yes,
and Leora,
yes.
move the
Okay.
Okay. Before I tell about myself, I also just want to say that Koach Eitan is about aphasia, but also about brain injury.
Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah.
nifkei rosh. So I am from Toronto,
Yay.
or Toronto. Yes. I grew up with
Are Canadian women the best?
the best. The best.
Yes, the best.
With Dana's sister, actually, Tamar. And I spent a year in Montreal, and then I came a year after that. I came to Neve. I was in a program in Neve, and that is when I met Eitan, the hot chayal. And my mom said, if you leave, do not fall in love with a soldier. And that's what I did. And the rest, they say, is history. But we lived in the old city for a bit. And then we moved to Efrat.
How long were you in the old city for?
for about 5 years, 5.5 years.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Eitan is the reason that I actually made Aliyah, because the first thing he said to me was, "We can go out, but I'm not moving. I'm not leaving. So just know that I'm staying here." And I was just
Did you have any intention of living here?
no. I came, and I started dating him.
I didn't know that. So, see, no. It's interesting.
Moved out.
because-
That might. It's okay.
No, it's interesting because I don't I don't remember, like, and it's so I'm listening because
Yeah.
you
We'll talk about the memory, but you don't.
yeah. Anyway,
It's like you're getting new information.
right? That you're exactly
Wow.
like
Wow.
it's like it's sorry, backwards, like.
Yeah.
And-
It is. It is. And no matter how many times I hear him say that, it's also like surreal. But so he was one of the reasons the reason that I stayed. But I think it was also during that time that I realized that I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on at the time. There was a lot of the Intifada and the bus bombings, and Eitan was the one who dragged me back to the center of town afterwards, where it happened, and to experience all of it. And that, I think, was so powerful and moving to me, that we're in a place that needs us. We have to be here. And like they say, the rest is history, and we've been here since then.
Yeah.
And you moved from the old city to the Gush?
We moved from. So I came. Actually spent time in a frat while we were engaged.
You know what I was thinking? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I dated someone from Efrat when I was here on my year in Israel. I was in Michlala in Yerushalayim.
Wow.
That was almost 40 years ago.
Yes. Yes.
So
When I
38
came,
years
it was
ago.
over 30 years ago, and there was half of a frat. That's like
Right.
it's till the deco.
Right.
And which is amazing.
Do you remember that road that
Yes.
we used to have to take? It was like a dirt road.
Yes. There was
Wow.
no tunnel road. There was no
It
nothing.
was super dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I went back and forth. I was in Turo at the time. Went back and forth with my cousin. And then we moved to Male Adumim. After we got married, we lived in Male Adumim for a year. And then we moved to the old city. And then we moved to Efrat. So we've been in Efrat since then, over 20 years. And it's
20 years. I'm like,
been a journey.
it's
Yeah.
How many kids do you guys have?
so Aliza and the Weitzman, of course. She's in Weitzman of the and
Yeah.
Adiel and Eva and the baby Ariella and Aviad.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You should have lots of nachas from it all.
Amen. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room in 2017, the day that you had a stroke. Can you tell me, Leora, because you were obviously a witness to what happened, exactly what happened that day? Is there a part of it that you don't feel comfortable talking about?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's yalla.
No.
Let's
We've
get
been
into
asked
it.
so many questions, every question, and I think that it's information. So in 2017, I was August 6th, we were supposed to go away. Our oldest was going to draft, Eliza, and we decided to take a little family get-together before she went in, and we were supposed to leave on a Sunday. Shabbat, Eitan had a bit of a headache, nothing crazy. I mean, he did leave shul, but a headache, we all get headaches. At night, he went to go and do a CrossFit training. Eitan, at the time, was a CrossFit coach, and he had his own business, and he gave weekly shiurim in shul, and he was a Mada volunteer, very active and pa'il, and he went to do a session for his people, and he came back, And, we spoke about the next day, the packing, and I said, I'll pack in the morning. You weren't leaving till later that day. And he usually stays up late and usually gets up early. So I went to sleep. And the next thing I know, I hear our kitchen chairs were like moving a lot. And we had 2 dogs at the time. And I was like, why are they making so much noise? Why are they making so much noise? And I saw that Eitan wasn't in his bed. And then the noise just kept going on. So I went downstairs to check it out. And Eitan was on the floor. He was conscious, but not unconscious. And so right away we called Mada, and the way that I described it, they already knew that it was something brain related, and they sent an Eitan, which is the emergency ambulance, and
Intensive care.
yeah, intensive care, and we went straight to the ER. I left everybody at home. We went there, and we were there for the next 4 months. We were there in Hadassah for a month and a half, in Ain Karim, and then in Har Sofim. Eitan had suffered a carotid artery, which led to 2 very massive brain bleeds, and has extensive damage on the left side of his brain, which caused the aphasia that he has that we spoke about, and also severe memory loss, which he doesn't really remember anything before the stroke. He can sometimes recognize people, people that he knows, but not remember the experiences that he's had with those people. Sometimes he doesn't. And so that's frustrating, very frustrating. He also deals with chronic pain on his right side. He also lost the use of his right arm. So he's had to learn how to do everything with one hand. And he uses he walks with a cane, and he rides a kanoit, like a scooter, for long distances. And he gets very tired. He suffers from neuro fatigue.
Can I ask Eitan a question? What did it feel like to wake up? What was your first memory or first impression when you opened your eyes? What do you remember from that period? In Mada, right, you were also a chovesh bachir. I don't know if you remember that period, but we see it from one side.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole other result that happens afterwards. So I'm curious, from someone who's gone through it, what was your first memory?
I don't remember Leora.
But I mean,
That
when you opened your eyes in the hospital,
Do you remember that?
do you remember that?
no.
What is your first memory?
Yes, Safta. My
That's what he said.
right.
Can I say,
Yeah.
talk about the word that you had? Did you recognize your mom?
Yes, and I. It's weird though, because
It's okay. Take your time.
no, it's
Sorry, wait. Did you recognize your mom?
yeah. Recognize my mom. I and no.
So I think the only person that I really recognized was his mom. Eitan had one word. He didn't have any words, and then he had one word. He had one. That's not true. He had one word that he would say involuntarily, and he would say "safta." That word, after the stroke, he had something called global aphasia, which means that he had all the different kinds together. So he had one word, and that word was everything. If he wanted Coke, if he wanted a drink, if he wanted to go outside, if he wanted anything, was safta. And safta is his mom. So he's saying that he did remember his mom. But if you ask me if he remembered me, I'll say yes, because I'm hard to forget. But do you remember me?
No.
So
No, and that's the
did you recognize me?
also not.
No.
No, see, that's hard for me. Like,
Right. So I'm still refusing to believe that. But
How was that for you?
so up until recently, I didn't like only now Eitan's really starting to verbalize this. So it's been hard. Not gonna lie, it's not been easy.
What was your first impression when you realized that he had no memory of you?
Um, it's sad. It's kind of like you're living a movie. You know, I don't really know anybody who doesn't have a memory. I've never met anybody who's lost their memory. I've seen movies about it. We've all seen those, 50 date kind of movies, but I don't. So it's part of me was like, how could that really be? And we went home and we printed up all these pictures and we put them in albums so that he could, see who everybody is. But it was actually not until the recent war, the war with Iran, that he actually said it out loud. And I actually wrote about it because I know that he can't remember, but verbalizing it has been hard for him. And he and Eitan on one Shabbat said, I don't remember. And we went through, and I said, what don't you remember? And he said, schools, like where the kids go, the years of their kids in elementary school,
Yeah,
and
what about the
kindergarten.
children? What about
Yeah.
the kids?
So,
How were the kids?
Yeah.
This whole thing.
so I think I'm going to add to your sentence, that we're on this journey together. It's us and it's our family, and our friends, obviously, but our family, our kids, and our parents are our rocks, and they're superstars. They're heroes. They are the heroes of this whole journey. Um, Everybody takes it to a different place, and everybody deals with it differently, but they are unbelievable.
Are you guys in any kind of therapy?
So there are some that are, there were some that wanted, there were some that didn't want, and everybody sort of got what they needed without being pushed into it or like that. But when something like this happens and your world just like goes from life is amazing to life is still amazing, but in a different, you just don't know that it's amazing, but it's totally flipped upside down. um, you go into sort of like a fight mode. There's, people go into flight mode or fight mode. So mine is a fight mode.
Totally, I see that.
Now I've learned to incorporate the fight with the flight, which is very, very hard and very difficult, but I'm actually working on a whole new project with that. But then like if you ask me like what, a lot of that is a bit of a blur, how did your kids deal? So I tried to be as present as I could while Eitan was in the hospital, but you're running back and forth.
Right.
And there's friends taking care of kids and friends doing shopping, and the community just stepped up. Like I can't even tell you. It was amazing. And now looking back, it's just a miracle that, everybody's, doing okay, and still getting the help they need, and the support, whatever kind of support they need or wanted. Our youngest was 13 at the time, and so everybody needed something else, and some didn't want, some did, and so we tried to, give them.
And Johnny.
Or Johnny, I will speak.
Oh, okay.
Eitan, I want to ask you, when you first started to connect again with your kids, how did that make you feel? That you didn't remember their pasts or their births or their, experiences?
It's hard. It's really, really hard. But it is what it is. And that's it's okay. Like, I'm sad, really, really sad. But that's life.
Right.
And Leora is amazing. Your kids and so it's good, but it's really hard.
What's your general, I was going to say in Hebrew, matzav ruach, what's your general mood or attitude towards what has happened to you?
It's stinks.
It stinks.
No, it's sucky, yeah, but I don't know.
You're dealing with it.
Yeah, no, but no, right, no, it's you know what, Hashem, I don't know what it is, and it's okay. This no, it's okay. It's
Do you remember anything from your past before the stroke?
no,
0.
no,
You're a frum Jew,
Yeah.
right? You're an Orthodox Jew.
yeah,
And you obviously had a lot of emunah before.
yeah,
Do you have emunah now?
yes.
What is your relationship with Hashem now?
Good, but it's hard though. Like,
Are you angry?
no. Chad mashmait. I don't know what. What? Why? Why? It's
Okay. So she's asking, what is your relationship with Hashem? Are you close? You talk to God?
Do you daven?
yes. So the davening is amazing because the tefillin is
He has a helper
Uh-huh.
in shul.
yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah. So that's great.
Right.
Um.
In terms of reading, did you have to learn how to read Ivrit again?
Yeah, but it's not though. It's really bad. It's like, no, seriously. It's
Is English easier for you?
yes.
English is easier
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
For sure.
Leora, what about your emunah?
Oh,
Okay, so Eitan was the one who taught me
And
about.
be honest.
I'm going to be honest.
Be honest.
I'm honest. I'm nothing but honest. And everybody who knows me, I'm a no fluff person.
Yeah.
No fluff person. Eitan was the one who taught me about emunah. Eitan was a Breslovi kind of guy before this. Like I said to you, did you ever see a CrossFit coach with long payas? I don't know. But that was Eitan, CrossFit coach and payas and all. And Eitan was, so he used to go to Uman and he used to.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was that
Yeah.
guy for the first couple years, and then it sort of like flitted when it all
Mellowed out.
when Uman became a bit more of like an attraction. He would go before Rosh Hashanah, but in terms of emunah, Eitan was always the biggest emunah guy, and he instilled it, I think, into our whole family. And he would always say, like, Hashem put you here, and you were born to do, b'shvili nivra olam. And I think that's how I am. That's just how I evolve. And my emunah is very strong. And recently, I also learned the difference between emunah and bitachon.
Right.
I never really knew there was a whole. I always thought they go hand in hand, and they don't. And so, I think bitachon is a bit harder. It's a lot harder than emunah, and we talk about this all the time. Also, I believe in God, and I know there's a God, but why do things happen? Why is my life like this? And to always know that it's for the best is not easy, but I'm a big believer that it is. And Eitan has had, he's had times where he's not gone to shul and not wanted to do all of these things, partly because of the why, Rosh Hashanah davening, the Chagim davening is all chet, al chet. If you did everything that you're supposed to be doing, why could something like this happen? But over time, when you talk about it and you realize that life, we all go through challenges. And I think I told you also, this parsha is full of challenges in Parshat Masei. And I always think about Yosef also. Yosef, if I had to go meet a hero, I would want to go meet him because his life was full of challenges and hard. And I heard a beautiful line today by Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson, who said that Yosef wasn't sold, he was sold. And I think that's amazing. And I think that's what I think my outlook always should be, like open, like be sold, open, like where is your neshama, where's it from? And also Eitan. Yes, Eitan doesn't remember, but we're always reminding him. And that reminder is, I think, what pushes him and what pushes me to keep doing and keep going and waking up and giving. And I think you can only do that when you know who you are. And I think that stems from the emunah that Eitan has taught me and given me. And yeah, I think so.
There's a Yiddish expression. I don't know it in Yiddish, but they say that if everybody put their packages, their problems in the circle, you would take yours back.
Yes.
Wouldn't want to
Yes.
switch with anybody else.
Absolutely.
And when you sent me this message this morning about, people and their challenges, that's how that's how you find out who you are.
Yeah.
Is only when you go through something really difficult do you actually find out what you're made of.
Mamash.
And when I look at both of you, I know like you've been through hell probably, but the fact that you've come out of it, and have created Koach Eitan and all that, you are inspiring and helping so many people. You're a vessel that Hashem is using to help other people through you. And I think it is such a beautiful thing. Yeah. I've been crying for the past 2 days. I think I got all the tears out already, but it's coming back. But I just want to say, you both seem so positive and inspirational. It gives koach to other people. It gives strength to other people.
So we all get that from you. I'm just saying, you and people, all of our friends. That's where the strength comes from. The people that are in our circle in Koach Eitan also, we give each other strength. We draw strength from each other. And I think that's also a secret in one of the secrets, I think, in life. It's a life lesson. Draw your strength and give strength. If you take strength from people, you can give back strength from people. Learn from people so that you can give over more. It's like not just an I, it's a we. Everything is a we. And I'm not gonna lie, I have a mood. It's not gonna I'm not gonna say life is rosy all the time and
Sure.
perfect all the time.
I'm sure.
And especially for Eitan, it's not. But I think that in the bigger picture of things, even when it's not, there's always the possibility of infusing joy into that pain or into that hard or into that challenge. And I think it's possible to do both. And
What was it like, if I can just ask, 'cause I'm so curious.
Yeah.
I'm from that tkufa, but what was it like getting to know your husband again from the beginning? I
Right.
mean, he's the same, but he's different.
Right. Yeah. It's 100%. It's
Did you fall in love all over again?
yes. I want to say yes. I want to say yes. I'm good to say yes.
Don't say no.
Say yes.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Move the mic to him if he wants to.
No. But it's true though. It's you, me, and also it's amazing. Like not you and me, but it's.
I think it's even stronger,
Wow.
if I have to say so. And again, it doesn't come without its challenges and without its pain. I'm not gonna hide that, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to.
So in a sense, you're actually a little bit lucky because most people
Yes,
don't get that
yes.
opportunity.
And there's also silver linings. You know what I mean? There are silver linings to to all of this. I get to use the dishes that he hated that he doesn't remember, which is
he doesn't remember
doesn't
what he
remember.
did. Like,
Seriously.
if something bad happens one day and he gets upset with me, he won't really it doesn't Eitan has the ability now to sort of let go, and it won't fester.
Mhm.
If we're really mad or we get into a fight, sometimes that fight could fester for weeks. This won't.
Right.
So for me, it's great. It's it's great. Um, but I do think it is harder in some ways because every day brings with it more awareness for Eitan.
Mhm.
So every day it's like, okay, I can't do this and I'm not like this and I'm not like that. And how do I want to do, but I can't do. And so the relationship also, if there's not constant conversation and constant connection about things, our life, our kids, our marriage, our connection, then it sort of will fizzle. So yes, it there's a big I have to work more, but I also have to make Eitan work more. So if we're tired, that's really not going to happen. So it does require a lot of work, meaning, I also feel like sometimes Eitan is more focused when we're out of the house. So if we go for coffee, let's say, we could talk about
Right.
more things, because we're out of the environment of the TV and the house. And so, or if we sit outside in our garden on Shabbat, those are times for amazing conversation and connection, especially in the morning when Eitan's not tired. Um, and, and
Does he have the same personality that he did
yes.
before? Yes.
Yes.
Has anything improved?
Has anything improved?
Are there any
So,
surprises?
has anything improved? He's a little bit more chill.
Okay.
Even though Eitan was pretty chill before. Eitan now is artistic,
Yep.
whereas before he wasn't.
Wow.
That's the right side of the brain. So I feel like that's improved.
That's huge.
Yeah, nature. Yeah, you could show
Yeah, of
people.
course, of course.
Nature and things like that, he's more in tune with. It's funny, whenever we drive, we're going on a tiyul.
Let's see. Wow, beautiful. I don't know if everyone can see this. We'll put pictures on it afterwards,
Yeah.
but this is beautiful. How did you make this?
So Eva,
Giving them
I'm sorry. So Eva,
What is this?
Procreate,
okay.
And-
program called.
Procreate,
Mm-hmm.
and so,
Who taught you this program first?
oh, yeah,
Yeah, Al Resnick,
but right, and it's hard though.
right?
And then
daughter-in-law knows this.
here,
Our daughter-in-law knows this program.
Okay.
So she's been helping Eitan now, and he's back at it,
yeah,
which is amazing.
So that's also that's
Yeah, that's improved. I have to say, Eitan's always been somebody who takes a challenge and goes with it.
Okay.
I want to become I want to learn Daf Yomi. I will do it until the end, twice over. I want to go do CrossFit. I will go. I'll do the course in England and I'll become it and I'll do it. So this is also, he takes a challenge of, even this physical therapy. We'll do the physical therapy, but not just the physical therapy. Let's buy all the equipment of the physical therapy and build a gym in our porch and do it that way. Or the swimming. He's just started to swim again, and that he's taking head on also. So that, in terms of his fight, that was Eitan, and it still is Eitan. We had a campaign a while back called "I'm Me." Eitan used to make these little videos, and Eitan would say at the end, "But I'm still me." And your question is just that. So much of Eitan's personality is here. His humor is there. His the fight, that's there. And I guess with the just of a little bit more of a softer sort of side of the art and which is really the right brain. That's the right brain, which got more exposed, I guess, because the left side was damaged. So so his personality is amazing, and he and it compliments me also now. Oh, and also he notices things which he never did before. So if I get a haircut, he'll be like, "Oh, wow."
Super aware of
Super
things.
aware. If I get a new dress, like nothing gets by him anymore. So I gotta watch myself. But it's so great, so nice. And he compliments, which is amazing. Before that, Eitan would never know if I cut my hair or not. You know what I mean? Um,
What about friends? What about socializing with?
So yeah,
You have to like meet these people again for the
for
first
again,
time.
yeah. Um,
your friends.
your friends,
Visit-
but
visit.
visit, and I'll go down also to Roe,
See, yeah.
Yami, yeah.
Eitan, is there anyone that you're meeting now that you used to be friends with that you don't like? That you're like, I used to like them. I know I used to like them, but Leora, can we stop being friends with them? Yeah.
It's maybe. Yeah. No, it's it's like it's brand new. Like it stinks, but whatever.
stinks, but it's-
yeah, but you
It is what it is.
exactly.
What about music?
Oh, music is great.
Music is great.
Yes, but I don't remember.
So you don't remember what your taste was before.
No.
No.
Yeah, just try and tell her again.
The music is
What side of the brain is music on? Music is on the right side of the brain. Language is on the left side of the brain. So music, Eitan was also a music buff before.
Okay.
Okay. Every song, he knew the names to every song, the words to every song. He's got every single playlist known to man. I'm totally the opposite. And it still has not changed. But he can sing every word to every song, but then he can't say my name because music is on the other side of the brain. So music is when we drove here, so his playlist.
yeah.
Not my
Is it a
not my
playlist
podcast.
or is it familiar to him?
It's probably an old playlist, so we do listen to the old playlist, but sometimes he adds songs, right? You add songs, or the kids also help him add songs.
What kind of music do you like, Eitan?
No, so again,
So he can't remember the names or the genre or that
What kind of music does
rock. He's also a little bit of a Swiftie.
Swifty? Okay.
But he's like hardcore, but also like heavy metal. Like that was his like CrossFit,
Yeah.
playlist,
Yeah.
and Hebrew music and Israeli music. He's a fan of everything actually. He's got like a whole lot of.
but I again, I it's so like backwards because I don't remember. I don't. It's so.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Okay, what else do you love that hasn't changed? Music and
Oh, sports is amazing. Yes, NFL and baseball.
Oh, you like hockey?
Hockey.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes, and also the the weights, the CrossFit.
he also does like he follows that also.
Yes. Do you watch the CrossFit games and all the competitions?
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So it's exciting, but so yeah, no, but
What's hard for you? Okay, I'm taking over the show. Sorry. What's hard for you? Learning.
the learning is the learning. I
What, learning Torah?
yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because you don't feel connected, or it's just
No,
hard to
no,
follow
no,
along,
no. I,
or you don't have the foundation?
n- I lost, bemet, lost, and it's, you know, me that I'm the Torah and 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 the Torah, but I can't, say it.
Do you listen to shiurim?
Also not, no.
See what we do? What do we do? When I read and then you listen.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that I think it's like is it okay if I, so I think that there's like like a, a kit of like little triggers that are sort of hard when it comes to this. Like I said, Eitan was like, he almost had, like, he actually went to learn force micha at one point. He didn't get it, but he like passed a lot of the test, and he did daf yomi, and he gave shiurim. And then afterwards, I started to learn daf yomi when they had like the siyum. But my daughter, we started to learn, and so Eitan started to learn with me. He's asked if we could learn with me, and he even knew, like, he would say, like, I'm doing it wrong. Like, you got to read it like this, and you got to read it like that. And so then the sort of like the muscle memory was there, but at a certain point, he just said, I can't. Like, it's too much. And then he also tried to like have a chavrusa of like parsha, and that also became a bit too much because it was sort of like mamash starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of takes a toll on a person that has, that's he was 42 at the time, but who's almost 50, and you have to start, like, you're sort of like in Kita Aleph again, learning,
Right. The
the
foundation.
foundation of it. So, and it's there. I think it's there. It's just hard. It's hard. First of all, reading is hard. So Eitan can read like headlines and sentences, but a whole newspaper, a whole like page of a book is really difficult. So we now started. I'll read like Rabbi Sachs, or just different things related to the Parsha Shavua. When we sit outside on Shabbat, and that is actually really nice. Um, and in terms of shiurim, there are some things that he did, like daf yomi, like the videos or things like that. But again, sometimes it's too tiring for him, right? Like he'll listen, and then you sort of like tune out because it's hard to keep the focus. So all of it is a bit hard in terms of
What do you both do when you get to that really frustrating point? What's your mechanism of coping?
So I'm working on something. When it's finished, I'll let you know. But it's really about talking it out. I feel like when Eitan's frustrated, really frustrated, and he can't say something, so either we'll let it go, or we'll come back to it, or he'll come back to it because he'll figure it out a little bit. But sometimes it just it gets gone. But really, it just needs to be, I think, talked out, and um, not just like dropped. Like, if we can't figure it out, okay, don't worry, we'll come back to it. Talk that part out. If it's a trigger that's triggering him, like, for example, on Rosh Hashanah, he, like on Yom Kippur, before Yom Kippur, a couple years ago, he would get really, 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 like, he would fall into like a dark sort of place, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized at some point that it was when his father would come bless him, and there's like this whole long Yehirat that you say with the blessing. He was thinking, I can't do that for my kids. And that really took Eitan in like a kind of spin. And also the whole concept of Yom Kippur is hard. It's a judgment day. And so Eitan would sort of go into like this silent,
But wait a second, he
mode.
didn't remember what the meaning of the day was, right?
No, so Eitan knows. Eitan knows what Yom Kippur is. He knows what Rosh Hashanah is. He knows that because we talk about it, and I think those days he does remember.
Okay.
Just same way that he remembers that he worked in Mada, but not what he did in Mada, right? Like, or he knows, and so that was hard. Like, how do you even do that? So again, I don't know if you remember, because short-term memory is also sometimes hairy, but I found a video of Rabbi Sachs actually, and he has this whole video on why bad things happen to good people. And so I took it and I showed it to him, and I said, "Listen, I don't know why these things happen." I still didn't know that it was about the bracha, but I knew that there was something going on, and that helped. So it's finding things like acknowledging the situation that you're in, you know, grieving a little bit of what is lost, but then finding a way to anchor yourself in the situation to then move on, which is not easy because, you don't really have time to grieve over what you've lost. You sort of just have to keep living what you're living, and so, but when you talk about it, I think that it just makes it easier to cope with because you're not dealing with it alone. Um, so yeah, so when he gets frustrated or I get frustrated, again, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes you get frustrated and you get mad and you get angry and that's normal. And you just have to sort of, you know, let that steam blow off. But most of the time when there's frustration, um, I try at least, or we try to sort of, if I'm there when he gets frustrated, to sort of talk it out. Um, and sometimes it'll take a long time till I figure out why he's frustrated. It wasn't until later on that I realized it was about the bracha. So then I was able to say, okay, and we made a bracha card that Eitan was able to use.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's really just trying to be creative with the life that we're in now, to help him and to help other people come back into the community and um, not isolate themselves because of it.
Let's talk a little bit about Koach Eitan, how it started and what it's about.
Sure.
And also I wanted to ask you at the same time, are there support groups for people with aphasia in Israel? Because I know in Chutz La'aretz there are, right?
You want me to talk? Yeah, there are, and there is. There is the Adler Aphasia Center in Jerusalem,
Okay.
and they service people from all over the country.
Wow. Okay.
Eitan was part of it, and it's an amazing organization and center. So yes, that's a very important knowledge a piece of information to know. There's also the Ne'eman Center, which is more for brain information and just to know different things. And there's a bunch of other different. There's a big organization in the States called BINA, which is for brain. And there's also an Adler Center in New Jersey. And then there's different centers. There's a center in Atlanta for aphasia. They actually just put together a really great camp.
Have you gone to Chutz La'aretz
To see them?
places?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Eitan really hasn't been able to fly till a couple years ago. So we haven't been there yet, but they're all great. And around the country, there's also, in Israel, there's little pics of different things. And in all the rehab centers, there's speech therapists that help with aphasia when you're in the hospital, and they can also refer you to different people or different therapists that help. In terms of support, this is one of the reasons why we started Koach Eitan. Well, Koach Eitan was started when Eitan was in the hospital. It was really just to update people. It was a Facebook page, and it just grew into an organization. And
You
because
started it on your own?
so I would say we started it. It was our family. It was, should we have how do we notify people of what happened? Because Eitan was really, he's a miracle. He was really like on the brinks of death, and he was saved, and still, he's here, but he was in the hospital, I would say, for about a month and a half in Karim. And then he was in Har Tzofim for another almost 2 months. And then he was outhouse rehab. So people would send messages from all over the place. Eitan had, his business with his people. He knew people abroad because we're both from abroad. So we had so many people sending messages. I said, let's maybe just try and update in one place so I don't have to answer all these messages. So that became a place of like updates. And then it became a place of information and education because we didn't really know what we were dealing with or what we were living with. We didn't know about aphasia. We didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. And our family really didn't know what it was. And even if you know what it is, by definition, until you live with it, you really don't know what it is. And in terms of everything else that was going on with Eitan, medically, everybody just wanted to know. He was asleep for a really long time. He was in a coma for a really long time until they woke him up. And he had so different surgeries also. And so that just became a place of where we would, update. And then about the time that the marathon rolled around, we always ran for different teams. So my daughter was like, we have to make a team for Abba. And so we did. And that year we just ran for Eitan. And then the next year Eitan was in the Adler Center. So we ran as Koach Eitan to raise money for I actually think the first year we raised money for Neman, I think, and the second year we raised money for Adler. And then we kept raising money for for the Adler Center until we were running, and one of our friends said, Leora, enough. Like, you have to next year raise money for Koach Eitan. You're doing so much. You guys are going to speak, and you're educating, and you have these tools, and you have all of these things. You got to keep building it for the people that need it. And around that time, I was already giving support to many different families, meaning they would reach out and say, my husband had a stroke, or my husband had a brain injury, or my son, or my whatever, my neighbor, my cousin, and I would reach out to them. And then I would just keep checking in on these people. It wasn't like a one-ended, I'll reach out to them and see what happens. And it got to a point where I don't like physically have enough time to just, do this alone. So this past year it evolved and we started the Lifeline program of Koach Eitan, which gives support to families of brain injury. And also because of the war, of course, there's more brain injuries that a lot of us don't know about. But I think the fallacy of that, not the fallacy, but the important piece of knowledge to know is that when somebody comes home, the family doesn't really have they don't give you like a guidebook.
Right.
You don't leave the rehab center with, okay, this is a booklet and this is what's going to happen. And it's going to guide you and tell you what's going to happen. And
it's also probably different for each person.
For sure.
Yeah.
So when we were there, we met a family whose husband also had a stroke with aphasia, and she became my lifeline, as did the social worker. And it's so important for someone to have someone who knows what you're going through, who can ask those questions and not feel judged and not feel, I don't even know what to say, just feel like someone gets you. And so Baruch Hashem, that's what we're doing now.
Eitan, do you know that you have an amazing wife?
This Leora event? No. This is, you have no idea.
I see it. I can't
No,
believe it. It should be called, I'm sorry to say this, it might be inappropriate, but it should be called Koach Leora.
That is true.
Right? I mean, look at her.
No, but
It really takes two. It takes a village. It really takes a village. There's a lot of people that help behind the scenes with Koach Eitan. And if you're listening, you all know who you are. And they've helped myself and Eitan, but they've helped us keep going because there are many times that I wanted to just say, I don't want to do it anymore. It's very hard also to run an organization while you're in it.
Right.
And you're seeing it and you're dealing with it and you're always talking about it. And sometimes you just want to shut off, which
Right.
I do sometimes. But then you get another phone call and then you get another thing. And then it really is. It's like you said, like Hashem knows. Again, I don't know his plan. I don't know the plan, but I know that if we've come so far, then we have to keep going. And if we are already helping X many people, we have to keep, because there's so many more people that we don't know about. And like you said, everybody has their challenges. And trust me, there's people that don't have it. Thank God Eitan can speak. There are people that can't speak. There are people that don't have words. There are people that can't walk. There's so many different scenarios within the world of brain injury that a lot of people don't know about, and I think it's very important to learn about it because you can't see it. Like Eitan's handsome and cute and spiffy and amazing, like again, like talking about falling in love with him, that's it's a good thing he's cute because it didn't make it hard, but really but that's like, what I mean?
You're lucky.
But like, if you saw him on the street with a cane, you'd say, okay, he's disabled. You wouldn't know the backstory of what's going on in Eitan. You wouldn't know that so much of Eitan has been like taken from him. And how do you start something new? Like when we give our presentations, sometimes when we give our workshops, I compare it to somebody who's worked on a project for a really long time, and then you press delete, and then it's deleted. And then what happens? How do you rebuild that? How do you do that? Now, when we give workshops, these kids are like, that never happened to us. It's all in the cloud and it's all here. It's all there, But when we did that, when we used to do that, it was horrible. How do you do that? What are the steps that you take to do that? And I don't know where I was going with this. And anyway, it's just, I feel like he's, you can't see it.
Right.
So when you can't see it and you're in shul or you're in the supermarket and you can't pay for something, or you can't order something from a menu, or there's so many different things. Somebody was just telling me that they hurt their shoulder or their arm, and they were thinking about Eitan because she couldn't really move her arm, and she was saying like how hard it is to do things with one hand. Just putting your sock on with one hand is difficult. Now think about trying to be part of your community, trying to be part of your kiddish group or your anything. Loud noises are hard. We brought a card for you, but we put together something that's called Let's Talk. It's an acronym for how to talk to people, how to have a conversation how to converse with people with aphasia or with speech impairments. And all of those little things people don't really take the time to know. But again, it's no one's fault. If I didn't know, a lot of people don't know. Many people don't know. And it's because they can't really advocate for themselves. So
What's the prognosis?
of aphasia?
Yeah.
So
Are you retaining information, or or do you have to constantly learn from the beginning?
So aphasia, so that's like a memory question, right? So I think aphasia doesn't really affect memory. Aphasia affects language.
Right.
So in
But
terms
he said,
of
but he also
memory,
has issues with the memory.
exactly. So in terms of memory, everybody's different.
Mhm.
Prognosis with memory, time will tell.
Do you notice a difference? I mean, this is not a new thing.
With memory, not so much. There are definitely times where he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he has like a
Light bulb.
a light bulb, Like he had a funny one with one of our friends was telling him, yeah, one of the people that he grew up with, we used to go camping together or tiulim together, and then Eitan pipes in and he goes, yeah, mastik alma. Do you remember mastik
Yeah, of
alma?
course.
Okay, so it was like the yellow gum.
Yeah.
And I said, mastik alma, like the brain is crazy. Like, how do you remember that, but you don't remember the sleeping bag you slept in? Or I don't know, or somebody came to visit us who he was also friends with from the past, and he's a basketball player. I think it's a basketball player or some sports player. I think it's basketball. And he's very tall. And so when he came to visit and he was telling him, my name is this, and we grew up together and we played basketball together or football. And then Eitan goes, oh yeah, the short shorts. Like he remembered that this guy wore, so it's like little things like that come up that we do see. And in terms of short-term memory, It really depends on different things. Like Eitan was talking about the Procreate, if he didn't use it for a long time, then he will forget and he'll have to, but sort of like also us, I guess. But there are definitely things that have to be relearned, I guess, all the time. But I think he remembered that we're coming today.
Right,
You know what I mean? That's totally okay. But everybody's different. And Eitan has somebody called Broca's aphasia, like I said. So it's really amazing that he has words. There are people that don't have words. There are people that don't have sounds. Eitan can read. There's people that can read but can't speak. There's people that have a lot of words but they don't make sense. So in terms of that, that's, it's difficult for a lot of different people.
What is your therapy like now?
Um,
You do physical therapy?
yeah. So swimming.
Uh-huh.
I go to swimming, walking, the the pool, and that's and Rivjani. Rivjani is amazing.
What is he?
Coach for me, and this yarmulke or the no, it's good and it's really Johnny's great. Yeah.
So Rav Johnny is a rabbi, a spiritual coach. And he talks to Eitan about everything. Everything.
How often do they see each other?
They meet once a week.
Mhm.
It was very hard for me to find a psychologist or a therapist for Eitan because of his aphasia. Like a lot of people were just, very scared, I guess, to work with Eitan. And when I met Rav Johnny, he didn't know what aphasia was, but he's like, okay.
All right.
Okay. And he came and he met him, and they literally talk about everything with it gets down and real. Anything is on the table. No subject is too much to talk about or too taboo to talk about. They talk about everything in terms of religion, in terms of life, in terms of everything. And it's really been amazing for Eitan.
Eitan, what do you want people to know about the condition, about aphasia that you have?
Me talking. So
Slow. What do you want good people to look at them like?
me, talk about me. You know what I'm saying? It's not Leora, and no, but it's me, and that's hard for me, but it's also but it's important. I know that, and now I'm going to speak also to what I'm saying. Workshops and that stuff.
We're gonna tell people what do you want them to know.
You got this, and you Bemet, you got this.
He's a moteg.
No,
It's so cute.
No, I told you. It all comes back to that, dear. It all comes back to that.
no, but it's true though.
It's true.
Yes. This is you got this. You got this, and so yeah. This is
That there's hope.
it has hope. Yeah, and this like
Yeah. You asked what the prognosis was. So I'm just going to go back to that. Aphasia, there's no cure for aphasia. And it goes up and down and 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards. It depends on a lot of different things, if you're tired, if you're not. But you could have a great day and a bad day. There's no rhyme or reason. But I think that if the person is engaged all the time, I think the sky is the limit. And I wouldn't know that if you asked me a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, even still today, I wouldn't think that Eitan was be like the way Eitan is. And that is what I think, like he says, you got this, and you really do. But it's also for everyone else. Like, it's hard. And I talk about this a lot. It takes two, but it really takes more of this side than that side. You have to be the one to go and engage with the person. You have to be the one to step up. You have to be the one to keep that connection. You have to, like, Eitan's good, but he's not good with keeping in touch. Do you know what I mean? Like, he uses emojis and he uses his phone, but the other side, it's really up to them. And so if you are a friend, or if you are family, or if you are all of that, there's a lot on our side to do.
Mhm.
So in terms of, in terms of someone who has children, or someone who has a spouse, or someone, it's a lot at first. Like, you don't want to have to be that person to step up all the time. And in
Yeah.
our relationship, he was the talker. I was not the talker. And that totally switched. But now his friends, even his friends, those who weren't talkers are now talkers. Those who, like, came and were like, no, now they know how to converse with Eitan through all of what we've taught and through what we've said. But I think the nicest thing is when you hit that point where the friend just looks at Eitan like Eitan. Like, they come over and they don't need me. There's plenty of people that come over and just hang out with Eitan, and it's totally normal. It's like nothing ever happened. And that, I think, is the most beautiful thing. And I think that goes back to your question, like, when did I fall in love, or again, it's really just looking at Eitan like Eitan, and then it's all still there. When something frustrating happens, right, that sort of breaks that, that nice little comfort zone, or that nice little picture. But that, I think, is something, like, if I had to give, a message to anybody out there, it would just be like, it takes time. Every win, no matter how small, and they're so small and they're so slow, and it's sometimes like a turtle pace, even slower than that. But in the outcome, it's going to be worth it. And you really just have to keep going, keep fighting, keep engaging, and not lose not lose hope. And hope was a word that I didn't love, and I wanted to erase it from my vocabulary. People would say, you have to keep on hope, you have to have hope, blah blah blah. And I was like, what is hope anyway? He can't do anything. Like, in the beginning, he was really not. In the beginning, it was not easy. And then I learned that hope is not just about that. It's really, hope is a goal. It's you're on that journey, and you're trying to get back to where where you started from, who you are. And that, I think, is hope. You're trying to get to that end of the light. And there will be light. There will be, if you stick with it and not give up. And it's so hard. It's not easy at all. But he's amazing.
You both are amazing. You both are, and you're a beautiful, beautiful couple, and you are so inspirational. I wish you guys so much hatzlacha and just strength and only good things for you.
Yeah.
And we should share many, many smachot together.
Eitan has a present for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love presents. For Lululemon?
Bunch.
This is
Oh, my favorite color.
yay. Here,
Thank you.
yeah.
The swag.
The swag, of course. Of course. And is this one? So
Wow, guys, look at my new shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. On your Haggadah?
I got it. And it's the pages.
And you wrote something?
Yes.
Thank you. Ah, wow, I really, really appreciate it.
But that's see this. It's
What do you see? What do you see?
see this.
Yes.
So it's a talkie, and I can't get it out.
That's a face.
Yeah.
I'm so honored that you guys came. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for the
much.
opportunity.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It was amazing.
You really made a huge impression on me, and I'm sure on many other people.
Well, again, it's all thanks to you. And you should just have the strength to keep inspiring all of us
Thank you.
continuously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of The Dayna Show. If you like what you heard, you can subscribe to the podcast, like and share with your friends on social media, and rate us 5 stars. Don't forget to tune in next week, and we'll see you then.